wait till everybody gets in here?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Josh.
Well, Mookie, I know last night, just how you spoke to the media, but there's been a lot of talk about just the defense that you guys showed at the end of the game. Of course, the play of the wheel, which you guys executed perfectly. When you look at how you guys are really coming together right now, does it feel like this is kind of the peak for you guys, or just the best y'all have been playing, getting to this point right now?
Sure. I think it's more of just this is just the time that we have just kind of locked on together and just kind of been on the same page, moving in the same direction. It's hard to do during a regular season. It's really hard to just focus on only winning when, stats do matter, especially for some guys. And so I think now throwing those stats out the window, you really get to see some good, some good, just fun baseball. Some good backyard baseball. I think that's what makes it is what making us good right now.
You recently talked about just with you moving to shortstop and kind of feeling confident, comfortable in that position. You don't have to think about it anymore. Was a play like that, or just the defensive performance that you've had thus far in the postseason, is that an example of just kind of where you're feeling and not having to think about these things and just being able to execute as you go?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about it. I've ran that play before. I mean, that play it's not like it's a special play or anything, that's been around for forever. So we just decided to run in a big spot, and we did a good job with it. But, I mean, I think the group of guys, we just believe in each other and we trust each other, and it's really easy to communicate. It's really easy to know and believe that your brother's going to do the right thing. And so if you're in the right spot, he's going to put you in the best spot to succeed. And so I think that's just kind of what's being shown out there.
Claudia?
Mookie, you have been here before in the past. How important is it to set the tone early in a potential clincher like this?
It's very important. We know that they're here. They got on the plane with full intentions of going back for Game 5. We understand that. We know what's in their locker room. We know what they're capable of, and so we got to come out ready to go. I mean, we got to be able to withstand the punches that they're going to throw and be able to throw some back. But by no means is it going to be easy. Well, we just have to make sure we just play good, clean baseball.
Olivia, second row.
Obviously, the environment in Philly and the fans was unbelievable. What do you say to Dodger fans ahead of Game 3 tomorrow?
We got to bring it. Those guys definitely did. It was loud. My ears were ringing a couple times. So that was a really good atmosphere to play baseball in. Really fun. You felt the love for the Phillies. You felt the love for the city. And so I expect the Dodger Nation to come and show the love for us as a team and us as a city. So I'm expecting it to be really loud.
You're in the back on the left.
Mookie, you've been kind of a leader on this team for a couple years now, but do you think that growing into kind of the leadership role that comes with being an everyday shortstop has been something that you have grown into this season?
I'm not gonna say I've grown into it. I think I've grown an understanding of it. I think playing all year there and really having Miggy has been like one of the biggest blessings in disguise I've ever had. He is so knowledgeable of baseball in general, but especially the position of shortstop. And so having a teammate like that, it's different when you have a coach, but when you have a teammate that's actually out there, I can ask him questions during the game, in between pitches. Someone who always has an answer, he gives you his best every day. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better than having Miggy Ross, and he's really responsible for a lot of my mental successes this year for sure.
Going to go to Bill on the left.
Yeah, Mookie. Harper and Schwarber have started this series 1 for 15 with 8 strikeouts. You and Freddie had a series like that a couple years ago. What's the frustration like when you're in a position where you know how much the team is counting on you and yet you struggle?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. You know, like you said, I've been there, and I remember feeling like, you know, no matter what, no matter how bad you want to say it's a team thing at this point, you know, we all got to band together. Like, you know, you're where you are and what you mean to the team never really goes away. And, you know, we were the Dodgers because me and Freddie were doing our thing. You know, that's what made us tough. And so, you know, when you get in that rut and you just seems like it's like quicksand, and no matter what you do, you just can't get out of it. And so it's tough. I mean, I didn't get out of it, so I have no advice or anything. I mean, shoot, I would have, you know, I would have if I knew what to do. So I mean, good luck to those guys, and we'll see if they have the answer.
The first row here on the left, Bob.
Mookie, going back last night to the wheel play, when's the last time you had that kind of reaction, you know, after the game from friends, players around the league, and just talking about that?
Never. I've never had, you know, especially for such a, I mean, I think it's just such a basic play. I mean, there's only like 2 or 3 plays, and that's one of them. I mean, it'd be like the Lakers, they won the NBA championship running the 2-3 zone. You know, that's how I view it. So it's just we ran in a big spot, and we were able to make, you know, do it right and do it. Well, I think we executed it really perfectly, and so it's just the timing of it, I think.
And just with your, you know, baseball intellect, everything else, people in the game wonder, you know, when you're finally done playing, where that time is, would you ever want to become a manager or go to the front office?
Man, I never thought I had this kind of conversation. God, but yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I don't know. You know, we'll see. We'll see what with the wife, the kids. We'll see. We'll see when that time comes. But I got a while, so we'll turn that part of the brain off.
Okay. Going on the back on the right.
Mookie, considering some of the struggles that you endured during the regular season, along with some of your teammates and along with the entire team at times, how gratifying is it now for so many things to seemingly be coming together at the perfect time of the season?
It feels great. You know, it feels great. But you know, we used all those situations earlier in the year to kind of build us for now. I mean, there's not a whole lot the game can throw at us that we haven't already went through. Especially as, you know, a lot of us, we won the World Series together last year, and we went through a lot. You know, we went through a lot of struggles this year, like you mentioned. So we've really kind of seen everything, and we kind of know what it takes. And so, you know, it's just fun when you get a group of guys that just love each other and just want to win. A lot of good things happen.
Chris.
So I know that you mentioned that the wheel's a basic play. I know we were all excited to kind of see how it all played out in the moment of the game, things like that. When you look at that compared to, I guess, Freddie's pick and how he closed out the game yesterday, just what is in your reaction to that?
Yeah, Freddie's play was way harder than the Will play. That was tough. That was a tough situation. But you know, I mean, sometimes you just, like I said, you get a group of guys together, and you just figure out ways to win. You know, it's not always going to look pretty, but you just figure it out. Sometimes you got to go rogue. Sometimes you got to do things that are not normal. But that's just the beauty of the knowledge that we have on this team, the talent we have on the team, and the love for each other.
Anything else, Mookie? Thanks, Mook. Okay, well, we'll start here with Kristen on the right.
Dave, I know with Will Smith, you've been talking about kind of how he's been building up. How did he come out of just the game yesterday, coming into today, and is there still hope that he could be starting tomorrow in Game 3?
Yeah, there is hope. I think he came out of it well. Haven't seen him today yet. We'll see him out there at the workout. So I'll make that decision tomorrow. But there's each day it's gotten better, And so I feel more confident that he'll be able to start.
Can we go to Jack?
I know you don't want to box Roki in as like just a closer, but moving forward, if you haven't used him in a game when you get to the ninth and there is a save situation, like do you anticipate him kind of being even more of your primary option in that spot?
He's definitely the primary option now. I think that, there's a build-up. There's also a component that, we have to win X amount of more games, and he's not going to close every game. It's just not feasible. So you've got to use other guys. And so, but I think that to the question, yeah, if it makes sense, he'll definitely be finishing games.
Especially considering he's only pitched 5 times for you guys since coming back. Like, what is that balance, especially with his workload and figuring out how much you can push him versus trying to still,
That's right, Jack. It's a balance. This is something he's never done, and you're expecting to go a few more weeks. And so all that stuff has to play in that a lot of people just don't have any appreciation for.
Fabian?
Dave, obviously you've had to rely a lot on non-traditional relievers for piece games together. How difficult is that balance versus obviously you want to win these games, but also trying to keep other guys going, get other guys going that you're going to have to rely on over the course
That's right. That's everything. If there is a world where you can use 5 pitchers and finish a postseason and win the postseason, I think a lot of people would sign up for that, but that's impossible. So you've got to use your roster at certain times and kind of pick spots where you feel best and live with whatever outcome. But, that's just the way it goes in to win for us this year, 13 games in October, but very well-framed question. And, but yeah, the more you see guys and give guys opportunities, you see how they respond, and it certainly helps my decision-making going forward.
And with the lineup tomorrow, what does them going with Nola do to sort of change sort of how you construct who's in there?
It doesn't do a whole lot outside of Max will be in the lineup. Miggy Rowe won't be in there. Then I've got to certainly make the decision on Will versus Ben to start the game, but that has no bearing on who the starting pitcher is for them.
Okay, can I go to Bill on the left?
Yeah, Dave, Harper and Schwarber are 1 for 15 with 8 strikeouts. What's been the key to keeping them in check?
I think the main thing is we've attacked those guys. We haven't been scared off using the fastball. I think we crowd them just enough. I think we go soft just enough, and I think we change eye level. So up to this point, we've done a really nice job of keeping those guys at bay. So we still got some work to do and try to keep those guys asleep.
A couple of years ago, Freddie and Mookie had one of those kind of series. How frustrating is it, or what do you see happening when 2 such important components to a team are struggling at such an important part of the season?
Puts a lot of pressure on everyone. The people around them, we've lived it, as you said, Bill. The players around them puts pressure on them. Certainly on the 2 superstars, puts pressure on them to try to perform. But that's what the postseason is all about.
Can I go Sonia in the middle?
Dave, kind of going back to the bullpen with some of the non-traditional relievers that you're relying on, do you see a need to get guys like Roki and Emmett to potentially do back-to-backs at some point when the series warrants it?
Yeah, I mean, it's this is like certainly it's all kind of uncharted territory for everyone, and so there's a balance of trying to build up some type of consistency to then, get to the next, graduation point as far as back-to-backs or whatever it is. And so, and there's no guarantee what the stuff's going to be like, So that's stuff that the pitching coaches talk about because we know our players better than anyone. And so those are things that we talk about daily to, again, put our players in the best position. So, I would love to have, Roki throw every single day if he could, but that's just not feasible. So again, we have a lot of conversations, and then I make my decision.
Before you see it in a game, what can kind of tell you that, Roki would be ready for that?
Talking to Bardo, Connor, Mark, their catch play, how they're feeling, how the ball's coming out versus other days when they get more rest.
We're going to go over here to Bob in the front row.
Hey, Dave, there was so much made last night, of course, of the wheel play with Mookie. Of all the guys you played with, coached, managed, where does he rank among just baseball acumen?
He's up there. I played with Robbie Alomar, Omar Vizquel, some great ones. And, Mookie is up there. Alex Cora. But Mookie's up there. I think that especially as an outfielder for the most part of his career to then come into the infield, he's got, a lot of feel. And he's got a lot of belief in his ability. And he made a great play, really, really great play yesterday.
And you guys ever talk baseball strategy?
All the time. We talk all the time, offensively, defensively, approach, what pitchers are trying to do defensively. And he and I have a unique relationship. We talk baseball all the time.
Okay, Michael in the middle.
Hey, Dave. A few weeks ago, I asked you about the balance with Blake Trinan from his postseason pedigree, especially last year's run, and I guess what he struggled in September of his recent run. And then last night in the ninth, it looked a lot like here against the Phillies when he gave up 3 runs here in September. And when he was bad over the last month, struggling, it looked like that. So how does that change when you want to utilize him or use him going forward now?
Yeah, I think the look of a player matters to me. I felt that he was gaining some momentum before that last one. So I'll check in on him. But, there's ways of how you go about an outing, successful or not successful. And, how a player carries themselves matters to me. So there was definitely a different look. He's got great pedigree in biggest of spots, but, I just didn't see that edge last night that I know that I've seen it many times over.
There you go, Jay.
Hi, Dave. Is there any update on Mickey Lowe?
No, not yet. I know that, the hamstring tweaked it a little bit. Obviously having today off, he won't start tomorrow, but I'm sure he'll be ready for whatever, we need from him tomorrow in the game. But, I think he'll be okay. Thanks, Jay.
So Tommy has an ankle issue and Mickey has a hamstring. So 2 of your middle infielder has some injury issues. So do you feel comfortable about that depth of your infielders right now?
I feel comfortable with Max Muncy. I feel comfortable with Tommy starting the game. I feel comfortable, with Kike coming in at some point if he needs to. And obviously I feel comfortable with Hae-Sung in playing infield. So certainly having him on the roster allows for us to, protect ourselves and potentially use him if the time calls for
it. Dave, just back to Mookie for a second. How impressive is that for a guy to go from being a Gold Glove right fielder to now making, the plays that everyone's talking about in the postseason at the hardest position in the sport?
Well, I think, point of easy, context is it's never been done, so to go out there and play Gold Glove right field for years and to be in the Gold Glove conversation this year, rightfully so, to play in the biggest of games, biggest of stages, it's just never been done. So it takes a special brain and talent to do it.
Okay, we're going to finish up here with Jack.
With Emmett last night, especially with Schwarber and Harper coming up, what just gave you the confidence to leave him in that spot, and how much did you learn about him and the trust that you can have in him in those situations moving forward from how he responded?
Yeah, I think it just went back to his last start against the Reds, or his last outing against the Reds out of the pen, and I just felt that how he came out of it mentally, physically, he was in a good spot. And so allowed me not to run from him in another big spot, which clearly in that environment was a big spot. And I just trusted that he can go out there and make pitches. And he did that first inning, and Kepler, I think, lined an 0-2 breaker that didn't get to the dirt, and he managed that inning, and I just felt that the stuff was still real good. He wasn't going to run from those guys at the top, and I trusted him. And so I just felt in that moment he was the best option, and it proved to be right.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Yep, thanks, guys.